Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Clark. I appreciate you taking the time to come in for a second meeting to discuss your financial planning. At our initial meeting, we discussed several important things. We reviewed your current family situation. We established your retirement goals, where you would like to be in the future, and we also prioritized those goals and created a statement of financial position for you. After reviewing your current financial position and your family situation, I noted a few very important things. You both have steady jobs with potential for increased salary going forward. That's definitely a positive thing. You have 3 children at home ranging from ages 2 to 10, and you provide financial support to both of your mothers. Currently, you have a monthly budget in place with a surplus of over $6,000. Your retirement savings plans are already started, and you are making steady contributions to those plans. So you have a good solid history of saving. Of the goals that you have shared with me, there were 2 important ones that you emphasized the most priority in. The first of those goals was saving for retirement, and then the second goal was saving for education for your 3 children. So today we're going to look at just your retirement goal. Now, you indicated that you want to retire at age 62, and you want your income to be 80% of your pre-retirement income. We also agreed on expected inflation rates of 3% and average investment rate of return of 7%. So, given what I've discussed so far, have I accurately summarized what your goals are? So after reviewing the numbers, looking at your plans and your goals, performing the calculations, you will need to save an annual amount of $41,000 in order to achieve those goals. By retiring at age 62, you will have reduced Social Security payments. That will be a 30% reduction from your full retirement benefit that you provided me. And you'll need to pay for medical insurance from age 62 to 65 when Medicare kicks in. So per our discussion, I'm also going to assume that you sell Uncle Max's when you retire at age 62. So I prepared a report with all of the calculations and the proposed statement of annual cash flows. I have that here for you, and I will give you a copy. In that report, the numbers that I was using are detailed, so you can follow along and see how I came up with my calculations. So in looking at your statement of annual cash flows and keeping your other retirement goals in mind, the current goal that you have established is not realistic. If we're wanting to retire at 62 with that amount of spending, as well as save for the kids' college education, we're going to have to make some changes. So in reviewing all the documents and keeping all the goals in mind, I did come up with what I believe to be a reasonable revision to your goal that I think we can accomplish between now and retirement. So the more reasonable goal that I would like to discuss with you and get your agreement on would be to push retirement from 62 to 65, so work a little bit longer, and also change your targeted spending goal from 80% of pre-retirement income to 60%. So I know that 60% sounds like a big cut from the 80% you had in mind, but keep in mind there's several expenses that you have now that you will not have in retirement. Some examples of those are the auto payments, FICA taxes, support for both of your mothers, child care, disability income, insurance premiums, and rental property expenses, and potentially life insurance expenses. So these expenses currently add up to about 37% of your income. So considering that your retirement goal of 60% will only be a 3% reduction from your current annual spending goal. By retiring at age 65, you would also your Social Security would be reduced by 10% from the full retirement age and not the full 30% reduction that we would see if you retired at age 62. So there are several items that we will need to modify and put into place in order to make this goal realistic for you. So for starters, we're going to need to free up some monthly cash flow so we can save more for retirement. And I recommend selling the mutual funds that you currently own and using the proceeds to pay off your credit cards and auto loan. This is going to free up about $14,000 a year that we can use for other goals and expenses and things that you have going forward. So when we sell the mutual funds, there may be some capital gains associated with the sale. You did not provide me with the information needed in order to calculate that. So I do want to confirm with you, we want to find out the dates that you purchased the mutual funds, as well as how much you originally paid for them. So if you could work on getting those two items to me, that would help. If you've owned the mutual funds for over 12 months and they have appreciated in value, there will be a 15% long-term capital gains that are going to apply to the earnings. If you've owned them less than 12 months, they're going to count as ordinary income for you, and your ordinary income tax rates will apply. If for some reason these funds were purchased and they have declined in value, you may have some tax advantages for selling them. So about $1,300 a year can be saved if we refinance your mortgage to a 30-year loan at a lower interest rate. Now, a 15-year loan would provide you a greater long-term savings and less interest to be paid off over the life of the loan. The reason why I recommend refinancing on a 30-year contract is we're looking at freeing up more cash flow today. So also by increasing your traditional IRA contributions from $3,000 to $5,500, and Kevin, these are your traditional IRA contributions. It's going to reduce your taxable income by $2,500. Being in the 25% tax bracket, this will save you $625 in income taxes and about $383 in FICA taxes. Now, Stephanie, by increasing your 403B contributions from your current 5% deferral rate to 13.5% of your salary, you will add an additional $4,826 to your retirement savings, and you will be able to take full advantage of your current employer's matching contribution. Right now, you're only currently receiving $715 of the potential $1,144 match that your employer could provide. Your total tax savings from increasing your contributions would be about $1,575 annually. Additional tax savings is also available, Stephanie, if you contribute to your employer's flexible spending account. You can contribute $4,500 a year to be used towards child care. Now, the reason why this is important is this is all done on a tax-deferred basis. So you will reduce your taxable income by $4,500, which will save you annually about $1,469. So the contributions must be used on an annual basis. If there are any unused contributions at year end, those contributions are forfeited. So we definitely want to, from a planning perspective, careful planning will need to be done. So you do not have unused contributions at year end. We do not want you to forfeit those dollars. So by making these changes that I have mentioned, it's going to increase your free cash flow on an annual basis by about $18,000. So this $18,000, as well as the combined increase in retirement savings, would be able to use to put work towards your retirement savings goals and allow for funds to be used for your child's education. So this was just one piece that we discussed today. I do want to sit down with you once we have agreements on the retirement goal and look at the other goals. The next item would be the kids' education goal. Do you have any questions so far?